Just a minute ago, I finished a podcast interview. And in that podcast interview, I was talking about emails and about business and about how to scale your company. Now, there's one thing that I think is one of the most important things if you want to build a successful business. And that is basically that you should not check your email all the time. And whether it's you being in a job, whether it's you, for example, looking for happiness, I think emails and answering emails will not make you happy, will not make you in any way more successful, and definitely will not make you more productive. Now, the problem about emails is that we believe emails are important. There's some kind of business that we're doing, communicating with people, whether it's we building our business, whether it's just talking to friends via email, or if you're still doing that, of course, via email, or if it's like just answering things because you need to answer them. But do you really have to answer all of them, in detail, and then do you have to answer them at all? Like, that is the main question that I'm asking me quite often. When I see an email coming in and I think, all right, this email is actually directed to me, but it doesn't add any value to the life of the person if I would be responding. And of course, also, it doesn't add any value to my life right now and probably will also not add me any value in the future. That's why I do not really care about any email that is being sent to me if that email is not adding any value to my life. That's why I do not like to answer emails at all, and I answer very, very few. I think every week, and I receive hundreds. I answer around 5 emails or something like that, and even 2 of those are probably for school because, as you know, I'm still attending high school, and most of the others are, of course, for business reasons. So if someone asks me, for example, do you want to collaborate with me? Do you want to collaborate? Then, of course, I check whether these people are successful or not, whether they already have done something that is impressive, or if they have some kind of product or some kind of value that they can add to my life. But if that is not the case, then of course I'm not answering them. And I'm sorry that this is very much a black and white thinking, but you have to understand that if you don't think black and white, you're never going to become productive. Of course, I don't want you to be a dick. I don't want you to just simply not answer any mail. Definitely not. And especially if the mail is important, then go answer. But I think the problem is that many people spend too much time, on social media, writing, with people, texting people, or writing emails, or doing Snapchat posts, or writing long Facebook articles, or posting on Reddit, or posting the next Instagram photos. And in the end, if you think about that and think how much time that actually adds up, I think it's incredible. For example, if you value your time, let's say an hour, at $1,000, 1 hour is worth for you $1,000. And every day you spend 1 hour on your phone or on your computer doing things that are unnecessary to you, well, then you're gonna lose in 1 year $365,000. Now, for example, this is really happening in my case. I can say, okay, I can create new video courses here on Udemy, start building my company, or keep building my company and making it bigger, or I could be on social media, for example, writing a post or responding to people or so on. Now, if that is happening and I have that kind of thinking in my head, I always find the right decision. That decision is definitely to spend less time on social media or writing emails. And that's why I created this little video right here. So my advice to you is just simply make sure you don't get distracted by your emails. And that is, for example, when you're working. Let's say you're working and you're in your office or in your business, it doesn't really matter where you are, and you're checking your emails, and you do that, and at the same time there are more and more emails popping in, and perhaps when you're talking to a customer you hear the computer beeping and saying, all right, there's a new email coming in. Now, what is the point in that? First of all, stop your computer. Don't let your computer do that. It doesn't make any sense. Also, have fixed times where you check your emails and be strict with yourself. For example, I have a rule for myself. I do not spend more than 5 minutes on WhatsApp every single day. Now, I'm not sure when you're watching this video, and perhaps WhatsApp will not be around anymore, but for everyone who does know or will not know anymore, WhatsApp is basically a messaging app. And in that messaging app, I spend only 5 minutes or less every single day. That is my rule, and I can really work with that rule quite well. So my advice to you is just simply have fixed times where you check your email and be very, very strict with yourself. Say, for example, that I can only check emails when I'm on the toilet, for example. Take your laptop, take your phone with me, and answer the emails on the toilet. For example, when you can connect a task that doesn't need a lot of attention, it must be done with something that you could be doing or might just want to be doing, then do that. Connect these two tasks with each other. So for example, going to the toilet and writing emails, or whether it's, for example, sitting in bed where you normally would, for example, just watch TV and, let's say you're watching TV and answer a couple of emails. Of course, this is multitasking, but if it adds any value to your life, then go do that. I don't want to, keep you away from multitasking in any way. I just think it's not the right way, but for some people it works, so I don't want to tell you to not do it. So most of the time, you will not get any value from the emails that you will receive or from the emails that you will send, because emails, to be honest, are not really the way how we and our business, or for example, our career wants to be operating. Because let's say we write an email, what we really get out of it is an email. Like, we write an email, the response will be an email, and then there will be email, and nothing will actually, most of the time, get done or will be happening. Now, if you really want to save some time, call people. Just call them. There's no point in writing 10 emails which take like altogether, let's say 30 minutes or 50 minutes to write, and like setting that in comparison to phone calls will actually make this much more clear to you. Because let's say you're talking on the phone to a guy for 20 minutes and you would have actually spent like 50 minutes on the email, then you're saving already 30 minutes, and also you're building like a proper connection to that person. So in the end, this is much, much more valuable than writing any emails. So my advice is just simply call more people, get used to calling people, talk with them if you want, for example, them to be your client, and just really make sure that you really focus on the calling aspect. So only take very, very little time every single day to check your emails. I can recommend you using 5 to 10 minutes, because if you only spend that little time on your emails, you'll definitely become much more productive. And this is, again, not magic, but it's something I want you to remind yourself all the time. Emails are most of the time not important. Spending 5 to 10 minutes is fine, and in the end will make you much, much more productive.